Hello, this is H.G. Bailey, and welcome back to Let's Play SimCity! Let's develop Freedom City into a Megalopolis! Now that we've gotten all of the commercial zones and C-tops developed in the city, we can basically fill in everything else now. Although, for now, I'm just going to start with the residential zones and go from there. I do not have quite enough money to build everything that I want, like more police departments, but we'll see how the money is at that point and go from there. So let's see, for this part I can just fill in everything, but there's going to be some parts that I'm just going to build around where I plan on putting police departments, like over here. So yeah, I'm going to put one right there, and while we're doing that, let's remove those. That bothers my OCD there, but it was necessary at the time. Okay, then over here, pretty much the same thing. Put another police department there, eventually. Let's also connect the rails around here. And then everything else in between, I can just fill in with residential zones, I believe. Yeah, there's only going to be 3 police departments in this column, on this side of the city anyway. Okay, then over here, I think it's pretty much the same thing. I can just fill in whatever I want, and I also want to connect power to this column, or at least get some backups going around here. Not to mention fill in all these. That was weird. There's nothing there. How could I not build over it? Maybe I was off by a tile or something. Whatever. So yeah, get everything connected in the event of disaster. Although, well, there probably won't be a disaster in what little time we have remaining in this city. Okay, then over here, I think everything is pretty well set, at least in the areas where I'm going to have residential zones. So I'm building the residential zones first because, well, they'll be able to take advantage of the land value in the middle of the city, but also higher land value generates more tax revenue. And also residential zones have more, a greater maximum population than industrial zones do. I am not going to max out every single residential zone in the city. That is beyond what I am willing to do. It takes long enough to do everything as it is. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna put a police department there eventually. So just leave all that open. I am not gonna fill in the empty space with parks. Again, I want to save the money. I mean, we got a lot now, but not forever. Also, part of the reason why I have all of these police departments along the middle rail that connects everything together is to serve as valid destinations. So my residents won't get carried away with their commute, or they won't want to do it at all if it's too far. But yeah, get everything connected around here. Okay, well, let's, yeah, that ought to be good then. Okay, then over here it gets a little tricky. So I'm going to put a police department here and here eventually. But for now, I will leave well enough alone. And yeah, as far as, like, the class that my residential zones develop into, I really don't care. I mean, as you can see, we've got low, mid, upper, high class residential zones. At this point, it really doesn't matter. I just want all of them to be able to develop into at least an R4 without requiring parks to get the job done, because I'm going to fill in every single space around here as much as I can. I mean, other than like zone stacking or anything like that. So an R4 low has the same population as an R4 high. It doesn't matter. So whatever class it is, the only difference is that like R4 high can merge to form R tops, but I'm not going to be doing that. I mean, if it happens, okay, great, but it probably won't. In any case, let's see, up here, I'm going to put a police department over there, eventually. I'm probably going to put most of my police departments in the middle of the city, at least for now, to start, because, well, residential zones actually care about the crime rates for their development. Industrial zones do not. So they will develop regardless of crime or almost anything, really. I mean, they need transportation and power, but that's about it. So we'll just leave that alone. Okay, then over here. Let's see, I'm going to put a police department here eventually, but I think I can fill out everything between here and there. Game? It's like, is there a rail that I'm not seeing there? No, it's open. Just gotta get on the right block there. Okay, then over here, yeah, we're gonna have a police department right there. I'm not gonna worry about as much about the zones that are like on the edge of where the land value is gonna be in the city. As long as they're not in, like, the outermost layer of the city or in the corners, they'll be fine. If I put residential zones, like, any further out than they are now, they would not develop up to an R4. They just wouldn't, without going through an insane amount of optimization. But, okay, so, let's get the industrial zones going. So I'm gonna put a police department right there, eventually. And I can fill in everything else with industrial zones. Then for the southwest quadrant, yeah, I'm gonna need to build a lot of rails. I don't need the rails to go up to the very edge of the city, because as long as I got one tile of rail touching the zones, that'll be fine. But yeah, this quadrant is going to have a lot more police departments than I have built there right now. So there's going to be quite a bit of empty space around here. But eventually I will fill in some of that empty space with parks, just not right now. So yeah, the whole idea with the way I've built the city is to have the commercial zones serve as a barrier between the industrial zones producing pollution and the residential zones that won't develop if you have too much pollution. The commercial zones don't really care about that. Once you've got them, powered up and transportation, and they're all developed into a C-top, they really won't care about anything for the remainder of the build. Just keep the zone demand high. That's the only thing that could reverse or regress C-top at this point. Okay, so over here, let's see. No, I don't need anything. I was thinking that empty spot might have been where I put a police department eventually, but nope, we're good there. Some of them are open, but yeah, I don't think I filled them in at the time anyway. Okay, then for this part, yeah, I built some industrial zone like there and there, but I didn't put the police department there in at the time, or I would have already done that by now. Okay, then up here, we've got that police department. Yeah, we can fill in everything else nice and easy here. Okay, then I'm gonna put a police department here eventually, but not right now. So the way that I've dispersed my police departments is every other 8x8 region, or in this case, 8x4 region, so that way it's enough to deal with almost any amount of crime as a result of like low land values out here. But I'm not going to worry about crime out here just yet. Eventually, though, I will build more police departments simply because I want to deal with as much crime as possible, not because, you know, it's necessary or anything like that to build a Megalopolis. So yeah, it's better to design the city in sort of like a diamond shape, like I've done here, than to build it like in a rectangle or something. But actually over here, yeah, let's get a little more rail. Oh, no, I don't want residential zones out here. They would die. They would rather die. Okay, so over here, I'm gonna put another police department eventually. See, same thing up here. And then up here. So just box them in and fill in everything else. I'm not even gonna bother putting parks in all of these gaps right now. I just want to get as many zones, as much population as possible. Okay, then yeah, we already got the police department up there. And we're good up to here at least. Okay, so for this part, let's see, yeah, we'll build another police department there eventually. We're good up here, although I do need to build one more power plant. So let's get that taken care of. So let's see if I can bulldoze. That would make this faster. There you go. So yeah, with City in Freedom, I need 9 nuclear power plants in order to get the job done. If I was on like a regular map, I could probably get away with 8, but since I don't have any water in this city, 9 it is. Although I've heard you can build cities with only like 6 nuclear power plants in theory. But the way the power distribution works in the game is beyond my ability to comprehend. So I just build however, and if I need more power plants, I'll build another one. But this should be enough for what I need. Okay, so let's see, another police department there eventually. Okay, then up here, see, I think I'm gonna have, yeah, one more police department eventually. Right over here. Let's see, I know I'm gonna put a police department there eventually. Let's see, over here. Let's see, I don't think there's anything else over here. And then up here, what are we in? Column 4. Yep, that'll be good enough. So yeah, even though we've got those 8x4 regions at the very bottom of the map, I'm still gonna put a police department in every other one. Not just for those, in fact, really not for those regions at all. Just to help out the neighboring regions that are further inward of the city. But yeah, on easy difficulty, it's much more feasible to do this. But if you're on like a harder difficulty, you're not going to have the tax revenue to do all that. So I try to do what I can when I'm in an easier mode of difficulty, but on like hard or medium. I may not be able to get rid of everything. But really, you need a lot of crime for it to make a difference on a zone's development. Yeah, I'm gonna put a police department here, eventually. Let's see, over here, I think I've gotten all of the police departments in the industrial area, anyway. Let's see, okay, so we got one down there. One over here. But otherwise, I think we're good. Let's see, yep, that's everything. I can just, put industrial zones everywhere else. And it looks like I'm barely gonna have enough money to build all of my industrial zones. Yeah, I guess the other zones, because they were, well, like the southwest or the northwest areas. Whoops, let's try that again. Yeah, and the west side of the city, because the city was still relatively small at the time, I didn't need to build police departments in the industrial areas to, like, move the center around. But later on, eventually, yeah, I needed to do that. So yeah, a lot of how I've designed the city is to make it as painless as possible to develop. So like over here, yeah, I could build commercial and residential zones in the corners of the city, but it would just take an obscene amount of time to make everything happen that way. I mean, you think it took long to build the city as it is? Yeah, it could have taken a lot longer than what it did, like triple the time it took, easily. But, okay, I think I've gotten everything hooked up eventually, but why don't we put some more power lines around? Oh, no, we didn't get everything. Okay, we can deal with that. I don't think I'm gonna have any new police departments around here anyway, but I'll just double check that. Yeah, we ought to be good. Okay, but yeah, clean up the power distribution a little bit. I have a tendency to forget to power up things. Yeah, maybe get some more in the middle around there. Yeah, that ought to be good. And okay, I think that's good enough. Let's get this show on the road. Oh, actually, let's build like some more police departments in the middle of the city, where we're gonna have, well, more population around there. Now, I could build some more, or even more, police departments, but I'm not going to do that right now because I want to have the money left over to deal with schools and hospitals. Maybe build another police department up here to block the industrial zone pollution. But other than that, I think we're good to go. See what this city can do. Let's, yeah, keep it on the slow speed for now so that the power can get distributed to everything. I did build another power plant. What more do you want? Well, that was probably just lag there for the city catching up with everything else. Okay, let's see. Let's just make sure, though, that we've got power everywhere. Okay, something going on over here. Is there? I have power connected. Am I really still low on power? Maybe it's just taken a while. Maybe some more power lines would help? Get the power where it needs to be? There you go. Yeah, power distribution is really weird. I could never figure out how to build a city with less power plants. I mean, I know how power distribution works, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, the way I would think power distribution would work would be like, okay, we have a power plant then you have something adjacent to it that gets powered up. If you have something in between, like a rail, build power lines to send power over there. And anything that is touching that, you could distribute power to, and so on and so forth. But it doesn't work that way at all, really. I mean, it gets the job done, but it's not, like, absolutely efficient. Like, I thought I heard there was, like, some practice island cities that could be built with only one nuclear power plant. But I could never figure that out either. Why things work the way they do. Well, I'm just keeping an eye on filling out most of the residential zones with anything for now. And then once those are all filled, then I will go hunting for schools and hospitals. Well, it looks like I've got almost everything filled up here. But yeah, you see how the cities, or the residential zones at the middle of the city have, like, bigger buildings than the ones towards the edge of the city there. And that's because of the land value difference. Okay, just get this residential zone going. Okay, I think that's all of them, or almost all of them. Okay, 3 schools and hospitals apiece. Not bad. Well, I mean, they are bad, but I've seen more in my time. Okay, well, at least they're right next to each other. That makes it a bit easier. Okay, then a school and another school. Okay. Man, they were all on the north side of the city for some reason. Well, whatever works. Just get us up to 500k for Megalopolis, and we'll be good to go. Oh, yeah, we got it on slow for power distribution. Just keep an eye on those residential zones, and I think we'll be okay. Or we could get another school. Why not? Okay, let's see. We got a few more around here. Starting with that one. Okay, we had a couple there and a couple around here, I thought. Well, wherever they were, they're gone now. Whatever works. Okay, let's try that one again here. No more hospitals or schools or anything. Okay, so yeah, with the commercial zones there, the way that works is if any of the if commercial or industrial zones comprise less than 12.5% of your total number of zones, that's when you get that message. But it really doesn't mean anything because that's based on the number of zones that you've built, not the levels of those zones, which is the latter of which actually means something. So, yeah, that message doesn't really mean a whole lot. As long as I got my zone levels the way I want them, that's really all that matters. You could probably go as low as, like, maybe even 5%, and your city would be okay. But, okay, let's see how we've got everything there. Let's see, we got one hospital somewhere around here. Okay, I'll take a look around. Actually, why don't we go into view mode? So that way time can pass while I'm moving around. Because if I hold the A button to move around, that would... Ah, there we go. Yeah, that pauses the in-game time. So let's try that one again. Get everything at least starting to develop, and then we'll be good. Almost there. Okay, good. Got that. Double check the numbers. Good. No more schools and hospitals. So we should have 454 residential zones. Hey, all right. And yeah, that should be enough to develop a Megalopolis. But what reward will we get for building the city up to 600,000 people? Find out next time on Let's Play SimCity. This is H.C. Bailey, signing off. Have a good day, and listen to the new music. Would have been funny if the plane crashed just as I was about to wrap things up here.